IconFit, and today we're going to go through a moderate level yoga flow. So wherever you are, just give yourself enough space. Maybe you have a mat. If so, step to the back of your mat or whatever space you're using, and make sure you have something like a towel and a set of books or blocks, whatever's available to you. And wherever you are, if you have a mat, step to the back of your mat, or if you're just in the living room, move back so you have space to move forward, and we'll get started. So we'll take a nice full inhale with our hands up high. As you exhale, pull your elbows down toward the ribs while lifting your chest up. And be mindful not to put too much pressure on the lower back, so I'm still really active in my lower belly. Then reach those hands up nice and high again. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. If you're feeling tight in your hammies, you can always bend your knees and let your head feel very heavy. Shift the weight forward to your toes so you can really drop your head weight forward. Inhale halfway up. So reaching the crown of your head forward while your tailbone reaches back. And exhale, release that breath completely out. And we'll start over. Come all the way up, hands up high. Bend the elbows, lift your heart up. Reach those hands up high one more time, and your eyes are looking up toward the fingertips. Exhale, fold forward to release. Inhale, halfway up, long spine. Exhale, release. One more time. Big reach, hands up high, chest lifts up. Bend the elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades closer to each other. Reach those hands up high again, abs in. Exhale, fold forward, let your head feel very heavy. Find that flat back. And then empty out this time. Soften your knees, looking toward the front of your mat or whatever space you're using. Walk your hands forward. Hold here in your plank, making sure your shoulders are stacked right on top of the elbows, and the elbows are on top of your wrists, and you're spreading your palms super duper wide to take up all that surface area. Use your heels to shift your weight slightly forward. So my shoulders are now in front of my fingertips, and I'm starting to feel a little bit warm. So my abs are super active, my body's really working. Give me 3 more breaths here, 2 more breaths here. One more big inhale, then exhale, lower down into a child's pose. So your big toes touch, your knees are open wider than your hips. You're pushing your tush back toward your heels and walk your hands forward. You can lower your head down. And take a moment here to find your breath, making sure your inhales take just as long as your exhales. We tend to have one that's a little bit shorter than the other, right? We can have a big inhale and then a really small exhale. You want to balance those out. Adding a twist, reach your left arm underneath the right armpit and really walk that left hand away from you. I'm still pushing my tush back toward my heels. And you can stay here, or you can take that right hand up nice and high and rest your hand on your lower back. Think of opening up your chest so you move that shoulder out of the way and your elbow points up to the ceiling. Then we'll switch sides. So both arms go forward, and then that right arm will go underneath the left. And if you like, that left palm goes to your lower back. And release, coming back to center. Palms spread wide again, and I'm gonna go into tabletop, and you'll join me. From your tabletop, just some cat-cows to work out the spine. Inhale, arching the back, lift your chest up, chin up, eyes up nice and high. And as you exhale, round, pressing the spine up toward the ceiling and pressing your hips forward toward the arms. Again, inhale. Press the heart forward, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round, hollowing out your tummy. Just one more big inhale. And exhale. From your tabletop, shift the weight to your left knee so you can reach the right foot forward and get that right heel up. Then reach your left palm forward. So we're here. Today we're going to work on internal and external rotation of our hips. So I want you to keep flexing that right foot, but then turn the heel in and the toes out, and then turn the toes back down. Right? So I'm really working my tush. I'm pulling my belly button in so that I can maintain this placement on the mat. Give me 2 more so we make it 4. Open up and close. Last one, open up that right hip. Keep lifting that right leg. I'm gonna shift my weight back to the right foot and turn my left foot off the mat. So I'm here for gate pose. I want to make sure that my right pinky toe is still pressing into the mat, so I feel firm in my stance and I'm reaching out through both sides. My left arm's going to go up as I give myself this nice side bend, and we'll take it over to the other side. Left palm goes down. If you like, you can always grab your books or your block and reach the right hand overhead. So while you're here, think of pushing that right heel down while still reaching the fingertips away from you. And then maybe moving that right thumb back and turning your chest up. We're gonna circle that right hand down, and now we're gonna turn. So turning toward the back of the space or your mat for a half split. I'm gonna walk those hands forward, keeping my spine long. You always have the option to tuck the back foot if you like, or use a block. But for me, I'm gonna go here. Now start to shift your weight back toward that left heel and walk your chest forward. A little fold. Looking forward, shifting the weight back to the right leg. I'm angling my foot at about 45 degrees so I can shift the weight to the right, and I'm opening up that left hip now and staying low. You can always, again, place a block or two underneath you if you like. Think of pressing your chest forward, eyes up, that little shift to the front, and then shift to the back. And this feels nice. Last time we'll shift forward, and we'll turn our bodies down. Left foot goes back to meet the right, and find a plank one more time. Just 4 breaths here, keeping that heat moving through the body. 3 more breaths, 2 more, 1 more. Knees are down, back into your cat-cow. Inhaling, arching the back. Exhale, hollow out, round. My elbow creases are pressing forward. Inhale, exhale to round. 2 more. Big inhale. And empty your breath out. Last one. Inhaling, looking all the way up. And exhale, round. Coming to center. Shifting the weight to the right knee. Left heel goes back and then up. Maybe you stay. Maybe you reach the right hand forward. Open up that left hip and then close. 3 more. Open and close. Last 2, open up, but still keeping my hips very steady. Close. 1 more. Open hip. Stay here. Lift that leg a little higher, and then we'll step back on the left foot, turning the right foot off the mat. Palms out to this side. Again, you can use that block if you like. Take the right hand up and over. Take the right palm down. Turn your chest up nice and high. And that back foot can be here as an anchor, or you can press into the top of your foot as well. Coming up. And turning my hips to the back of my mat. Shifting that right knee to the center, flexing that left foot, walking the hands back. I'm gonna uncurl my right foot and lower my chest down. It's a hard flex in my left foot. I'm really pulling the toes back to me. Then lifting up, again, turning the left foot in 45 degrees. Shift the weight to that left side, open up the right, and then we walk side to side, just to open up those hips. And you can play with whatever feels good for you. Maybe you bring the toes up or the toes down. Maybe you shift the torso side to side. See what works for you, and then we'll return to the front of the mat. We'll swing the right leg back to meet the left. We'll find that plank. So you can always play with variations of your plank. You can lift 1 leg up. You can take 1 leg to the side. You can bring your knees to your nose. If you want to come down to your forearms, that's an option as well, especially if you have things going on in your wrists. 3 more breaths here. 2 more. And 1. Take a child's pose. Big toes touch. And your child's pose should feel nice. Whenever you need a break or just a moment to catch your breath, if you're doing this at home or in a class, you can always come to your child's pose. And while I'm here, we'll circle the wrist out. Lifting up. I'm just gonna move my props forward so I know where they are. Spread your palms wide. Make sure you're pushing the fingertips into the ground. Tuck those toes and find your downward dog. In your downward dog, be mindful. Sometimes we have tightness in the lower back or in our hamstrings, and it's totally okay to bend your knees, right? You can bend your knees while still keeping your spine long, opposed to bending your knees and rounding, right? So if you bend your knees, you can still push your sitting bones up high, keep that spine long, and then you play with lowering those heels down and straightening the legs. Looking forward, walk your feet to the front of your mat. My feet are parallel, hips width apart. Inhale, halfway up, find that flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands up nice and high. Exhale, hands to my heart. Bring your inner thighs together so you're here. And if this feels uncomfortable, especially for guys maybe, you can always separate your knees. If you are separating the knees, make sure the feet are also separated, right? So we're not doing this or this kind of thing. So I'm here. Abs are engaged, tailbone lengthening down. Inhale, find your chair pose and reach those palms out. Maybe bend the elbows and see if that feels better for you. Exhale, fold forward and release the breath. Inhale, halfway up into your flat back. I'm gonna grab my blocks. I like to use props. Plant your palms down. If you're not, that's totally fine. You can tent your fingers. Shift your weight to your left side as you bend both knees and pick up the right foot. Kick your right heel straight back so we find that moment of balance. Then step back onto the right foot. High lunge. So find your balance, hands up nice and high. Exhale, open up to your warrior two. So now we had closed hip to open hip. From your warrior two, I'm just gonna check myself out. Find your reverse warrior, reaching forward, then take that left palm to the back of the room. You're being very gentle with your right hand so we're not pushing down on our knees. From your warrior two, reach forward, and you can rest your forearm here or grab a block for your side angle. Right hand goes overhead. So while you're here, your abs are firm. I'm pushing that right heel into the ground, and I'm keeping my right shoulder away from my ear. Open hip to closed hip. That right heel is gonna lift. You're gonna close that hip. Bring your right palm down onto the ground. Left hand goes up nice and high for your lunge into a twist. Any modifications you need, take them. So maybe you want to be here, and that's totally valid. You can also be here in that twist. From your twist, I'm going to bring that right knee back up. Walk your left foot to the center of your mat, and you're on the outer edge of your right foot for this variation of your side plank. Maybe you stay, maybe you stack those feet, up to you. Keep lifting those hips up and then step that left foot back behind you off the mat. Heel high, chest up, left palm goes overhead. And then exhale, both palms go down to the ground. Moving my block to the side, knees down. Arch your back the way you did in your cat-cow. Bend the elbows, lower your chest and your chin down toward the ground. Scoot your tushy back, hips down. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale to lower. 2 more, please. Push your feet into the ground. Inhale, lift your chest up. And release. Last one, lift your chest up. Elbows press back. Maybe those hands come up off of the ground. So work your back. Keep pushing your feet into the ground. Lift up a little bit higher. Then plant your hands by your floating ribs. Tuck your toes and find your plank. Plank into your down dog. Looking forward. Walk your feet back to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Bring those inner thighs together. Inhale all the way up, hands up nice and high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, we'll find that chair, pushing the weight back into our heels, into our tush. Shoulders are off the ears. Be mindful of where you're looking, opposed to down or kind of glossed over, looking fiercely forward. And then we fold to release. Coming up halfway, bend both knees, shift your weight to your right leg. Left heel comes up. We kick that left heel straight back, and we step onto the left foot, finding your high lunge. Left heel stays high. We open up to our warrior two. Right in your warrior two, making sure your knee is stacked over the ankle, and that back foot feels strong so you can turn the toes in. Reaching forward to your reverse, take that right hand back. Exhale past warrior two into your side angle, whatever variation you like. Here, up to you. All right, take a moment here. This should feel nice. Pull the belly button in, root the left heel down. Maybe you can turn your chest up a bit more toward the ceiling. Raise that left heel, close that left hip. Left palm goes down, right palm goes up. Walk your right foot to the center of your mat. You're on the outer edge of your left foot. Option to stay here, totally fine. Just make sure your shoulder and your wrists are stacked. Maybe you stack those feet. Take the right foot back, hips up high, reach your right hand toward the front of the room. And then we'll lower down. Palms down. Option to go knees, chest, chin if you like, or lower your knees down, modified chaturanga. Bend the elbows back toward the waist. Inhale, lift your chest up, eyes up. In your up dog, your knees are off of the mat. Exhale, find that down dog. 5 full breaths here. Take a moment. Close your eyes. As I said before, you can always go into a child's pose. This practice is for you. But take a moment to just reset. Looking forward, bend your knees and raise your heels. As you exhale, hop or float your feet forward. Inhale halfway up in that flat back. Exhale, fold to release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last time through, a little faster. We'll find our chair on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, bend those knees. Shift your weight to the left foot. Right heel lifts, and we kick it back. Lower down. Inhale your high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Reaching forward, find that reverse. Come back to warrior two. Find your side angle, reaching, lower, 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 up to you. Right hand overhead. Close the right hip, right palm down, left palm up. Walk the left foot to the center. Find your side angle. I'm sorry, not side angle, side plank. Hips up high. Into your wild thing. Step back, hips up, left hand goes overhead. Palms go down. Maybe you keep that left leg lifted as you shift forward. Bend the elbows lower down. Inhale, heart lifts up nice and high. Exhale, hips go back. Raise those heels, bend those knees, see where you want your feet to go. And as you exhale, get them there. Halfway up, folding forward. Inhale, big breath, palms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Last time, find your chair. Empty the breath out, forward fold. Halfway up. Palms down, knees bent, weight shift, left heel up. Left heel goes straight back. Step onto that left foot. Palms high, chest high, open up. Reaching forward to go back. Then forward, lower down. Close the hip, left palm down, right palm up. Spread the fingers wide, walk that right foot to the center, stack those feet. Stepping back, reach your chest up nice and high, right hand overhead. Palms go down, right leg lifts, shift forward. Option to stay, you can be here, up to you. Bend while still looking forward, inhaling up, exhaling back. And take a child's pose. Open those knees wide, wider than before, and push your hips back. Lowering your head down, and take a moment. Looking forward, going into some single leg posture. Spread those palms out, tuck those toes into your down dog. Keeping your spine long, bend the knees, raise the heels. Hop, step, walk your feet forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold to release. Head feels very, very heavy. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Once you find your breath and your breath is steady, you'll shift your weight to your left leg. And it's a subtle shift opposed to a big shift into the hip. Just a slight shift while you raise your right heel. Option to stay. Option to raise the right foot up nice and high. Grab a hold with both hands of your right leg, reaching for the hammies. Flex that right foot. If you need to modify, you can be lower. You're going to kick that right heel forward. You can also be here. That feels better for you. So I want you to think about lifting up, keeping the abs engaged, and we can raise our leg without raising our hips. Palms out to the side. Start to swing that right foot back like a pendulum while shifting your chest forward. All right, palms out. We'll come right back up. Raising, the right foot will graze the floor, and we lift. And we'll swing it back. Last time. Lifting up. Swing that right foot back. Bend that left knee. Step back on the right foot. Open up those hips. So turn. I have my heels in and my toes out. I'm not going for, 180. Halfway there. Big reach. Exhale. Take a seat. While I'm here, just start to shift, and you'll shift with me. Then plant those palms on the ground, tone your toes inward, and fold forward. Soften the knees so you're not hyperextending or locking your joints, and then come all the way up. Other side. So take a moment, just reset. If you were feeling a little bit tipsy and you fell last time, not the end of the world. Just check in. So weight will shift now to the right side. I'm going to bring my palms into prayer. And you can join me. You can place your hands on your hips if that feels better. Raise the left heel. Bring it up. Grab a hold. So your balancing work is really here. It's not so much in the leg. Drive that heel forward, palms out. Swing that left heel back. Think of getting your heel in line with your hip, and then swing it forward. In these single leg postures, having a drishti or something to focus your eyes on is pretty essential. So commit to one spot in your room and set your eyes on that spot. And we'll swing back last time, holding here, palms out, then bend the standing leg, step back, open up. This time, bring your feet a little bit closer together. Reach your hands up high. Exhale, find that seat. So if this feels terrible for you, you can grab your blocks. You can set them up, or your books, and you can rest. You want to think of keeping your chest open, pressing the thighs back, right, and still pushing your chest forward. From here, shifting forward, palms down, lifting up, turn those heels out, toes in, and fold. Lifting up halfway, moving your props to this side. Walk your hands back to the front of your mat. This is my right foot. Moving my right foot to the right side of my mat while scooching my left foot back. Bend that right knee deeply. And again, you can use your props. Think of squeezing your right inner thigh close to your right arm while still pressing your chest forward. Maybe you lower that left knee down. From here, start to walk your right foot over towards your left hand, going into your pigeon. Shift to the outer edge of your right foot and lower that right leg down. So you may not be parallel to the front line of your mat. That's fine. You can bring that heel closer into you. Just make sure your hips are facing the mat opposed to leaning to one side. When you're ready, lift your chest up. look over your right shoulder. Check out that left foot. If we're sickling the ankle in, we want to straighten the foot. Turn back to the center and lower your forearms down. So this should feel nice. If this is a lot, you can always go onto your back and take a figure 4 so your right ankle will be just above the left knee. If you want a little more, you can start to walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. All right, so you'd be here for more, or for modification, you'd be here. You can grab a hold, you can grab a strap, you do what feels good for you. And then we'll move to the other side. So if you're on your back, you'll switch. If not, you're with me. So, palms are down. That left foot's forward. Be mindful of rounding or compromising your breath. You can always use props. Then walk the left foot over toward the right hand and lower the shin bone down. Walk the right knee back. Look over your left shoulder. Check out that right foot. Lift your chest up and then lower your forearms down. So I like to use my forearms so that I'm not rounding, right? We do all this work in our practice to open up our chest and strengthen our backs. Then we get here and we just kind of slouch. So keep pressing your forearms down. And you can go into whatever variation you like. Then shift to your left hip. Swing that right leg around. Bring the soles of your feet together. So my hips aren't particularly open today, so I'm going to use blocks, and I encourage you to do the same if you can. Sit up tall though, and if you have tightness here or you're rounding, you can sit on a towel or roll up your mat just to keep the spine erect and give yourself a little more room. Then fold forward. Lifting up, squeeze the inner thighs together, straighten your left leg. Pull the right heel closer to you and then press your chest close to that right thigh, sitting up tall. Use your left elbow crease to grab a hold of your right shin bone and twist. Bring the right hand close to your bum so you can root down to lift up. And come back to center, other side. We'll straighten the right leg. We'll plant the left foot. Again, find that length in your spine, and then you twist, twisting on your out breath. And come back to center. Bending both knees and planting your feet on the floor. Start to recline onto your back with your palms down, your forearms down, your chest open, so you're even pressing your triceps down. Then bring your right knee into your chest and kick that right heel up nice and high. Option to stay. If you need to use a strap or a towel, you can always grab a hold as an extension of your arms. Then bend that right knee while straightening your left leg, and we'll twist one more time. Bringing the right leg over to the left side. Think of keeping your chest facing the ceiling and turn to look over your right shoulder. My back always cracks here. Other side. Right foot goes down. Bring the left knee in and up. Kick your heel high. So your heels are higher than your toes. Then bend that left knee, straighten the right leg. Twisting to the other side. Come back to center. Having a block or two nearby, feet to the floor. Inhale your hips up, and then rest the block underneath your sacrum. Bring your knees into your chest and kick your heels up nice and high. And this feels really lovely. You're welcome to stay here for a long time, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. the modified inversion. And from here, your feet go back down to the ground. You lift your hips up, move the blocks out of the way. Then make sure your space is clear for your final pose. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, straightening your legs, letting your palms fall down by your sides, closing your eyes, and just breathing. And slowly bring your knees into your chest, returning to that easy breathing. Allow your body to roll over to the right side into this fetal position, and then take your left palm in front of your nose. Push down with that left palm and use that to bring your body up into a seat. Whatever seat feels comfortable for you. And just take a moment to check in, finding that easy breathing that you'll take with you as you move through your day. Taking full advantage of the practice. And we'll close with just one loud exhale together. Taking a nice full breath in through your nose and a loud exhale through your mouth. May we all have peace in our thoughts, peace in the words that we speak, and peace in our hearts. Namaste.